Hello and welcome back. In this short lecture, we're going to learn about deploying Win32 specific applications. When I say Win32, the applications that have exe specific installation. For example, a setup.exe file is available along with the use source, and you wanted to install that because of the uh, conversion is not possible for you to convert to MSI or MSIX format, and you wanted to choose the Win32 specific application. In that situation, you're going to use the Win32 specific application mechanism. For creating that mechanism, it's so easy. You need to go to the Microsoft Intune. Once you're in Microsoft Intune, go to Client Apps and Apps. Click on Add. This will show you what type of app you want to deploy. So in the previous lectures, we did work on built-in apps as well as the line of business applications, nothing but your MSI files. But in this case, we are going to work on exe based applications. To begin with this, if you can look at read this specific note, what it's going to say is, as on date of this recording, which is in August 2019, it's not supported that the applications, if it is already deployed with the Win32 mechanism, when you try to retire any of the application or wipe the device, it's not going to automatically take out those applications. So you need to plan those applications to manually remove from the personal devices or the company devices, or bring your own devices on the users machines or users devices, so that way you're going to securing your applications also. So think that one of the loop back of this issue, and then you need to actually convert. I'm gonna I'm not going to show you everything now, right, Avi, because I just wanted to give you some idea and some challenges, so that later point we are gonna actually deep dive into how to do this. The current problem is, if you see here, the app package, which is nothing but these are the application source, what we have as on date. For example, I wanted to deploy here Acrobat Reader. So what I do is, normally I would have a source, and I have a setup.exe file which can be installed by using setup.exe file. But such kind of application, if you want to deploy, you can do it from the Win32 mechanism. What happens is, you need to convert this specific application. If you can look at here, when I try to actually open up that folder, it's actually coming up Intune Win format, Intune Win format. So this Intune Win format is the only option. So I need to have a file called Intune Win format file, so that it understands the entire background format of the package source and how it's going to actually install. To get that, or to convert your existing package, for example, in this case Adobe format file, you need to convert that into Win format, and then you can deploy that. So in our case, we don't have that. So let's cancel this steps actually, and go back to conversion process. Once we were able to convert it, we can actually deploy that. This is a link actually which is available on GitHub, the specific file, which is nothing but Intune Win app utility, and this has been also pasted here in the Intune resource notes. You can download this as the zip format, and once the zip format file is available, you can extract this. We have downloaded here, and simply I'm extracting with the help of WinZip or 7-zip in this case, and there should be one exe file inside extracted folder, which is nothing but your Intune Win app utility. Since my folder has lengthy, I'm just renaming to Intune app, so that it's easy for me to give. Now if I change to the directory and type the Intune Win app utility.exe question mark, it's gonna show me how this is gonna help me out. Like, this will be gives the information /h, as well as if no options are given like q, what will happen, all that different parameters are coming up. Now as a next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually call the utility, and when I call this utility, it's going to ask it is going to be asked three different questions. The first question would be the source folder, and then the setup file, which is going to be executed, and the output folder. So I did actually given here three of the nodes. For example, the first source folder would be, this is a folder because that's where my source files are available. Here if you can see here under Adobe, you have the entire source. So this is a folder which I have to give in. So I'm just giving here as it is in my command window as this folder. And the next step would be, it's going to ask me, hey, what's this setup file? So remember that if you can go back to my source file, I did actually create a batch file to automatically install the setup.exe with the s and all. This is the command line which is going to be executed automatically, and this delta dp0 is nothing but it will actually change to the current folder path. That's one of the batch trick which we can use it. But in our case, what I'm going to do is the installation. If you look at the high end, if you are the batch scripter, or if you have ever worked with any of the scripting, you know that in this case actually whatever it is asking is the setup file. The setup file, you think that it should be install.bat, but it's not the case. Actually it should be the actual file. Actual file would be the setup.exe, which will actually call in the background as MSI. So I need to give here in this case also MSI format. So I need to give that file name, which is nothing but accrue read.msi in this case, which I'm gonna select this entire file name and paste it here. And now it's going to ask for, hey, whatever you said is right. Now the information is enough for me. One would be the source as well as the installation file. That's good. Now I'm going to create for you the output file, which is Intune Win format. So give me the folder where you want me to keep it. So that's the last question it's going to ask. So in my case, I'm going to actually put it here. If you can check out here, I don't have here anything, so I wanted to put it here, the output of that format of the file. So I can give this path and I can hit enter a later point. So here just select it and I'm going to hit enter. This is going to create it. If you can look at here, the percentage is going on because this process is nothing but a wrapping process. Packages knows this word wrapping. Once the wrapping is completed, it gives you a message as it's done, and this is the file has been created. Let's go back to the folders and have a look on it. If you can look at here, this has been become as a 55 or 53 MB of the source. If you can go back and check the total size of Adobe folder, which is 105, and it has been compressed to a lesser format. This is called wrapping file. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually distribute this specific application in our Intune portal. So for doing that, I'll just go back here and browse the application and simply give this one file. Click OK. Now that simple Intune Win file has every source. It has everything, including our folder has this install.batch file, which also available there. I'm referring to all these files are already available inside this Adobe our Acrobat.Intune Vim format. So now it's going to ask for the configuration part. Hey, it says that it has automatically detected, if you can see, and it says that Adobe Reader X is the application name. And what is the description? So the description could be one of your Acrobat Reader X with any of the version. And here I can give the Adobe is the publisher name, and category, this could be a productivity relevant application, and remaining all of these specific settings are optional in fact, so I'm just skipping them and going to program. So if you can see here, it's automatically detected installation command line along with the uninstallation command line. If you want to use this, since the MSI has automatically detected, you can use this method, or you can also use your since in the background it has already have a batch file. For example, assume that this batch file has other steps to automatically to execute. For example, in that situation, for example, post to this, you are executing or you're performing some registry configuration or some shortcuts replacement, such kind of script which is executing with your batch or with your command line or with your PowerShell script. In that situation, you can directly give that script name here so that it's gonna execute. So in my case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give here, instead of the MSI command line, I'm going to give here as the install.bat information. So that should actually accept here, and then for the uninstallation anyway, these are the information which is coming from your MSI. This is nothing but your product code, so you can use this method for uninstallation. If at all, if you have another batch file, you can give that batch file name too, but in our case that's just fine here. For the installation and uninstallation purpose, you can click on OK. Now the requirements comes. If you remember, in SCCM you have the requirement like what kind of operating system, what is a disk space, what is a memory, all that kind of very similar configuration is going to ask you here. For example, the architecture should be 64-bit, and minimum operating system should be whether it should be Windows 10, 1903 or 1709. We can configure here 79 as the minimum, and the space is required, for example 500 MB, and also for the physical memory and number of logical processor, all these are the optional configurations. But you can also configure additional configuration requirement if you are interested. For example, a file specific setting or a registry specific setting must be exist, so that only it can be installed this specific application. So this is very interesting, all these settings, because these are very similar for your application deployment method in SCCM. Similar configuration what you are trying to do it, but in our case we are not performing anything here. Click OK. That would actually configure the requirement. Now the detection rule. So how you're going to detect this specific application really exists. So you can give here, if the application is available, it's gonna actually say that my MSI should be available as this. MSI product code should be available as this. That is one of the detection method. Otherwise, any of the file path or can be a registry key, all that can be given. But in my case, I'm just fine with the MSI because that's more relevant and more confident way to take it out the product code, because the product code never been changes for any reason unless you change your MSI or unless you change the product information. And that's it. Click OK. That's a detection role. Click OK. Now we are good to create a Win32 app and click add. That's going to create the application. If you can see here, it's still just uploading this entire 53.94 MB. So it all depends on the internet speed and the upload speed. Once it is uploaded, you can actually work with this application for assignment. Until that, it says that hey, this application is not yet ready. So we know that this is not yet ready, and once this is uploaded, we will go back to the assignment and we will assign required users. So in this case, it's just uploaded, so I'm just going to refresh the console so that it's going to pull up the relevant information properly, correctly. Now I can have the option like add group. This is where I'm going to add as a required application for a specific user set or a group. For example, in this case, I'm just wanted to apply the specific application for all finance group. I can give here all finance users need to have this specific application example. I can simply, and also if you can see here the toasted notifications, which is also important. If you want to hide everything or you want to show the all the notification or just the hide the notification, but only for the computer restart to be shown, that kind of configuration can be done. This is very similar for SCCM, software center configuration. If you are coming from the SCCM background, and click OK. That way you're configuring this specific application. That's it, and click on save. That's gonna create your legacy application or Win32 specific application, and you're good to deploy that specific application. Thank you for watching this.